Hi students. Today we'll be seeing how to do Python programming in one of the IDE, that is one of the famous IDE, that is your Anaconda. So you have to navigate to this particular website, that is anaconda.com, and you have to download the Anaconda distribution which is suitable for your operating system. And once you have installed Anaconda, you will be taken to this particular window where you have n number of components for you to work with. That is Jupyter Lab, Notebook, Qt Console, Spider, Orange. You have n number of components. Which environment we are going to see is or uses Spider, which is mainly used for scientific Python development environment. That is the abbreviation of Spider 2. So it is one of the powerful environment where you have editing feature, testing feature, as well as the debugging features, which can be done simultaneously in the same environment. So you have to click on Spider and click the launch button here. So next you will get this particular window, that is the Spider window. At the top you will be having the menus like file, edit, search, source, run, debug, console. And there where we have the statement like author colon VAIO, that is the environment where you will be typing your code. At the right side where you can see IPython 7.2.0, that is your kernel where it is going to convert your programming language, whatever you have done. After compiling, it is going to show you the output there in the console. Okay. At the top, you have a variable explorer window. There you can see how many variables you have used, what type of variable it is, and what is the size occupied by that particular variable in the memory. So you have three environments. So you have three windows for you to notice. One is the IDE where you will be typing the code. After typing the code, at the top below just the debug menu, you have a run option, that is your green color button through which you can run your code. The same output you can see in the IPython console, and whatever variables you have used, you can see it in the variable explorer window. So coming to this Spider environment, I am just giving you one sample program. So you can just create one variable. As I told you people, what is mean by variable? It is nothing but it is just like a storage space for that particular value. So if I want to store this 95 somewhere in the system, I need some name so that I can get back that value again from the memory. So it is called as variable. So now I am typing marks is equal to 95, and I am just telling print in bracket marks. If I click on that green color button, it is going to print me 95 because this 95 is stored in the variable called marks. Again, I'm just typing marks is equal to 100, and if I print marks, now it is going to print me 95 or 100. Of course, it is going to print me 100 because 95 is already replaced by 100. So while explaining about the characteristics of Python, I was telling you Python has automatic memory management. So automatically 95 is replaced by 100 because it has the same variable name. So now how many times I print, I'm going to get just 100. Is that clear? And next one, Python data types. What are all the data types which is available in Python? Say just like now before in the slide, we have used mark is equal to 95. So 95 is an integer. So we are going to see what are all the values this variables can hold. Okay. So since we know Python is dynamically typed language, that means in ahead of using that particular variable in other programming languages, previously we have to tell what type of value that particular variable is going to hold. But here in Python we need not tell that. That is why depending upon the assignment of that particular value, Python will be considering its data type. That is why we say Python is a dynamically typed language, so that we need not define the type of variable while declaring it. And the interpreter also implicitly considers its value and binds that particular value to that particular variable. So if we see like that, we have two categories of data types. One is mutable data types, the other one is immutable data types. So what is mean by mutable data types? The name mutable and immutable tells you that the values which is assigned to that particular variables can be changed. If we can change, that is called as mutable data type. And what is mean by immutable? Just opposite to that, which cannot be changed, that is called as immutable data type. So now coming to this, before going in deep to the data type, how can I know this variable is about to hold which category of values? Okay, say for example, I have assigned a value a is equal to 10. Okay, now I should know what kind of variable this a is. So I have a function in Python called as type. So now if I give print type of a, it is going to give me type is int. Just see the output below, type is int. Next, I have one more variable called as b. It is holding a string. String is nothing but collection of characters which is enclosed in double quotes or single quotes. Okay. So now if I give print type of B, it is going to tell me type is a string. Next, I have another variable called as C, that is 10.5. If I give print type of C, it is going to give me float. So with the help of type function, I can know what value that particular variable is holding. So in short, I can tell type is a function which returns the type of the variable which is passed to that particular variable. So now coming back again to the data types, as I said, you have two data types, mutable and immutable. What is mean by mutable? The values which can be changed. And what is mean by immutable? The values which cannot be changed. So totally in Python, you have 6 categories of data types. Coming to that, if I classify this whole data types into mutable and immutable, mutable data types are list, dictionary, and set. And immutable data types are numbers, strings, and tuples. In short, list, dictionary, sets, I can change the values, and number, strings, and tuples, I cannot change the value. So now coming to numbers, as I told, number is nothing but numerical values. They are, as we know, it is immutable data types, means I cannot change the data type of that particular variable. So one example I have given here, where 1 is equal to 1, and I can declare another variable called as variable 2 is equal to 10. I cannot change its data type, but I can change the value. If you feel like, okay, I feel like this variable 1 and variable 2 should be used for some other purpose like storing a string or storing any kind of float values, then I have one of the function called as del. Del is nothing but you can delete that reference itself. So del where 1, if I give, that whole variable is deleted, and you can use that particular variable for any other purpose. Just like type, you should remember one more function called as del. Next one, if I talk about numbers, we have 4 categories of numerical data types. One is integers, which holds both positive and negative numbers with no decimal digits. That means it accepts only whole numbers like 10 or minus 10. Next, long integers. Their long integers will not have any size limits, and which follows an uppercase L to just have the differentiation between an integer and a long integer. Next is called float. So what does mean by float? Whole numbers with decimal digits. It is called as a floating point value, where we have the integer part and a fractional part. Next, we have complex numbers. Complex numbers, as you people know, it will be in the form of a plus bj, where a and b are floats and j variable represents the square root of minus 1, which is an imaginary value. These are all the four categories of numbers. In our programs, we will be using most frequently integers. Towards the worst case, we'll be using long integers. Otherwise, we'll be using only integers and float values. Next, if I want to convert an integer value to float, or long into int and float to int, these are all the conversions which is available. Say if I give type int of x, that means it is going to any number which is entered, it is going to convert into an integer. Say for example, I have entered 10.20, which is a float value, but I want to take only an integer part of it. So what I will do, I will write int of x. Next, if I want to convert into a long integer, long of x. If I want to convert into a float value, float of x. If I want to convert into complex, complex of x. If I want to convert with the imaginary value, that is complex x comma y. This is how we can convert one data type to another data type, and Python allows you to convert one data type to another data type. So if you see here, I'm just having a variable called as a which is holding a value called as 10, and b is equal to 10.20. If I'm giving print a and b, it is going to print 10 and 10.20. Again, if I'm telling print type of a, it is going to print me int, and print type of b, it is going to print me float. Now I'm telling b is equal to int of b. What is int of b? It is going to convert a float value into a integer value. Means b is holding a float value, that is 10.20. After this particular line, b is equal to int of b, if I print b, it is going to print me only 10 because I have already converted. Now, if you print type of b, it is going to print, that is integer. So again, I'll explain you. A is equal to 10, b is equal to 10.20. I have two categories of value. One is the integer value, the other one is a float value. Now, if I print just the values, it is going to print 10 and 10.20. Now, I'm going to know what kind of data it is holding. For that, we know the function type is used. So, print type of A means it is going to give me integer. Print type of B, it is going to give me float. So, I don't want this B to be a float. I want B to be converted to an integer. So in the previous slide, we have seen the type conversion. So int of that particular variable. So I'm just converting b is equal to int of b. So now b variable, which is belonging to the float category, will be automatically converted to your integer variable. Now if I give print b, it is going to print me 10, and if I give print type of b, it is going to print just 10. This is one of the example for number type conversion in Python. Next, coming to the strings. Strings are very popular data type in Python. We can just create a string by enclosing a group of characters between quotes. Single quote and double quote does not make any difference in Python. So here I have two variables, where I have used a single quote. This is also considered as a string. Where two, Python programming, that is enclosed in double quotes, that is also considered as a string. Now accessing the values from string. Okay, so as we people know, Python does not support a character data type. Everything whatever it is given is considered as a string. So we are going to access the strings with the help of a substring. Okay, So what is mean by substring is each and every character that is called as a substring. So in order to access the substring, we will be using this particular square brackets for slicing the values. Slicing the values means we are going to cut some values from the whole string. Okay. So how do we do that is with the help of index values. Say in the hello world string, H holds the index 0, E holds the index 1, and the L holds the index 2. Like that, it goes on. So, the first index is always 0. Now, just see if I'm giving print where 1, whatever is given in double quotes, irrespective of the language, it is going to print as it is. So, print what is there in the zeroth position. If I want to know, print where 1 of 0 comma, what is the variable name, where 1. Since I'm doing the slicing operation, I'm just using this square bracket of 0. So for the first print statement, it is going to give me h because 0 index belongs to the value h. So similarly, next slicing value, I'm just telling, just fetch me the value which is starting from first index to fifth index. So if you see like that, the first index is y in variable 2 and fifth index is o in variable 2. That is from Python. If you cut the indexes 1 to 5, you will be getting y, t, h and o. So this is how do we access the substrings in a string. So how do we update an existing string? That means reassigning the value with another string value. So here if you see where 1 is equal to hello world, I have a string called as hello world. Now this word I have to replace with Python. So for that, how to update this? I should say from which index I have to update. So for that, what I'm doing is I'm just using this operator called as plus. While explaining about polymorphism, I told you when I'm just giving the input as numbers, it is going to add. When I'm going to give you this particular string as an input, it is going to concatenate. So now if I give print update string comma where one of from the sixth position, because HELLO is 5, from the sixth position you add that particular string Python. Now when I execute this particular statement in your spider, you will be getting hello Python as your output. Now, what are all the special operators is available in strings? So, plus just now we have seen, which is a concatenation operator. A is holding a value hello. See the example. B is holding the value Python. So, if I give A plus B, it is going to give me hello Python. Next one is asterisk. What is the use of asterisk is it is a repetition operator. So if I give a asterisk 2, it is going to repeat the value of a twice. So it is hello and hello. Next one, slicing operator. So if just now we have used in the square bracket, if I put 1, it is going to give me a of 1. What is there? In hello, the first portion. So it is going to give me the output E. Next one, range slice. So 1 to 4. So it is going to give me ELL from hello. Next one, membership operator. So it is going to give me true if the character exists in that particular string. So I'm just giving H in A. Membership in is a membership operator. What it does is it is going to tell me whether that particular character is available in the string or not. So H in A, what is A? A is a variable, and what is H? That is a character. Is H available there in the variable hello? Yes. If it is available, it is going to give you 1. 1 means true. If it is returning 0 means that means false, and not in is just opposite. M should not be there in A. M is not there. So that is why we are getting the output 1. So these are all the special operators of string. So now coming to this particular example, I have a variable called as fruit, which is holding the value apple. So now I give print of fruit. So it is going to print apple. Now I'm just using the slicing. Fruit of 0 means it is going to print me A. Fruit of 2, it is going to print me P. Fruit of minus 1 is a negative value where we don't have anything, just in the negative side of apple, that is ahead of apple. So it is going to give me wrong result. And print fruit of 5, it is going to print me E. Now, if I give fruit is very healthy, does this particular line is going to replace this fruit value with apple? No, because anything given in double quotes, it is going to print as it is. So if I want to replace this fruit value with apple, what I have to do is I have to place a flower bracket in that place so that that particular variable will be replaced with its value. So if I give print flower bracket inside double quotes is very healthy, and I have to place dot format of fruit. So now if I run this particular program, I'll be getting apple is very healthy. You can see the console window for its output. So that's all to do with strings. We'll see list in the next class.